Time to Howl at the Wolves. It's Saturday night, July 18, 2026 or 2026. As I say, the Bilderberg Group, as you like it. We have been off for the past 3 weeks. We apologize. Maybe we'll talk about a little bit about that in just a momentito. Dr. Brooks Agnew is out. He's in Mount Shasta tonight. Co-host Dr. Brooks Agnew, he shall return next Saturday night with us. You can go to brooksagnew.com, folks, brooksagnew.com. Check out his books, his products, and his great show, X Squared Radio, every Sunday night and Wednesday night at 8 p.m. You go to brooksagnew.com and you can figure that out. We await the return of Scotty Hare, Adam Earth, and all of that. And Lieutenant Keith Temple shall be back in Jacksonville in August, so he shall be joining us tonight. We are joined by the longest running contributor on the show, one of my best friends ever. He was boots on the ground at the inception of the Iraq War, done a lot of stuff we can't talk about. Bob Austin, hoorah. Great to have you on with me tonight, booby. How you been? Dude, the humidity, the global cooling is extraordinary. There you go. Rim shot. I like it. I like it. Lot of stuff to talk about. When Lieutenant Keith Temple, gets back in studio, it's a hell of a show, Bob. As I was saying, we good, Tone? Okay. What's that?
Is Bob still there?
Hey, Booby, say hello.
Yo. Hello.
Okay. All right. We're just doing sound check a little bit. Live, whatever this is now, since we're not terrestrial radio anymore. Just working out some kinks after a 3-week hiatus. When Lieutenant Keith Temple rejoins me in this empty seat next to me right here, it's perfect timing. As I was telling you before airtime, Bob, I talked to longtime guest and really, really dear friend of mine. I asked him today, Charles Strange, and so he's going to be on the show Saturday night, August 8th, for the anniversary of Extortion 17. His son, Michael Strange, was murdered, along with all the other SEALs, the biggest loss of Navy SEAL, in the Navy SEAL community, naval special warfare ever, on August 6th, 2011, Extortion 17. And he sent me a picture of a letter from someone named President Donald J. Trump, who is going to go ahead with the investigation that he promised into Extortion 17.
Breaking news. Hello.
Breaking news right here on the show Earth. I always want to say the radio show Earth. So that's huge, and I'm wearing my Extortion 17 shirt. It's a memorial shirt. Deb Grew, SEAL Team 6, Michael Strange Foundation, and on the back of the shirt, all 31 souls that were on Extortion 17. All their names are on the back of the shirt. If you want a shirt like this, they come in black and green, also in a hoodie, black and green hoodie. You go to Michael Strange dot foundation, Michael Strange dot foundation, and you can support Charles Strange and everything he does for Gold Star families, because it's not just about, he does tons of stuff for Gold Star families. But anyway, that is too cool for school, because I was just trying to get Charles on, Bob, for the anniversary and cover extortion, and then he sends me this picture of this letter from President Trump, which is too cool.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, man, it is, and I'll just remind everyone if you're listening on Rumble or X or YouTube and soon to be Spotify, but if we ever say anything tonight and we have to be careful, it's because of YouTube. Okay? Because we were banned from YouTube in 2020, just like Brooks Agnew was, and Alex Jones was, and tons of other people who get the truth out. And then when President Trump got back into office in 2024, oh wow, the ban is lifted from us. But we were on for 3 weeks starting this past January, and we got 2 strikes already. So if I tell you about stuff that can help you, I can't tell you to take it or do it or whatever. Bob can't. I'm only telling you what I do. That way we can keep our YouTube audience that has to regrow again after being banned for 5 years or whatever the fuck it was. Boop, I wanted to, before we get into everything, I promised you if you're going to come on, and by the way, we got to do this little celebration, Booby.
Yeah.
Bob's been on with me since the beginning of the show in 2009. But, when he came on in 2009, he was kind of like maybe it was illegal for him to come on the show, and stuff like that. And so that's why, Bob Austin we can let everyone know, Bob, it's an alias, right? No big deal. But Bob's been with me since 2009. And Bob, we have not done a show, you and me, by ourselves since like 2010. So this is a record-setting night. We got Extortion 17 we break that news that it's going to be investigated. You and me doing a show just by ourselves for the first time since 2010.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
We need Brooks Agnew because I want him to explain the difference of that energy in 2010 and how correlates to today. Because if all we are is energy and time is, time, it's not linear. There's, you get where I'm coming from, my brother? Life's funny.
It is. But I mean, listen, man, we have to toast and holy shit. I made tonight for producer Tony and myself and my next door neighbors. I brought them 4 over. I made chicken bacon ranch burritos.
Oh man, that sounds good.
Oh, dude, I make my own. I make everything. So the ranch sauce, it's so awesome. It's so awesome.
And one thing we were talking about Charles Strange and Michael Strange, Extortion 17 earlier. One point, and it just dawned on me.
Yeah.
And the older I get, the less I remember in great details. I mean, it's funny how that works, but you notice on all the police shows when they talk about all the busts, the sting operations, the names of the operations. You get where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Operation Santa Claus, Operation Northern Lights. They've all got catchy little operations. Well, the military's no different. And it just dawned on me about the naming of that operation, Extortion 17. What the fucking kind of name is that, dude?
I'm glad you bring that up because I've went into that in my mind over and over again. What's the definition of extortion? And 17. I mean, I don't want to interrupt you. So, are you going somewhere? Because I'll go somewhere.
I think I think that might be a little Easter egg that some general, whoever name the operation for posterity, whatever, or I don't know, man. It could be very. I just operations have, different names, but the way that operation turned out and that name, because the way that operation turned out should have never ever happened.
Yep. Army Rangers never called for a QRF. Never ever.
Well, that from my understanding, and I wasn't involved in anything. I don't even know anybody that was in there, but just military protocol. That whole thing was smelled very funny, man. Like, and this is on the heels of the burial at sea of Bin Laden, right?
It was 2 months later that eight members of Extortion 17, 8 members, one of which is Michael Strange on my shirt.
And who was the president?
I'm just saying, 8 members that were on Extortion 17 took place in the so-called air quotes Bin Laden raid.
Okay.
Michael was there. Aaron Vaughn was there. You got 8 members of DevGru on that helo in Extortion 17 that took place in the Bin Laden raid, but somehow Rob O'Neill was not on Extortion 17.
And here's where we need Brooks Agnew, because he could tell you the percentages. It's something like that, like to where it's what? Anyway, I digress with that little.
Let's look at the. We're gonna go.
Who said GM is alive and Osama bin Laden is dead to win? That was his campaign slogan, his second term.
Of course.
Now, the only thing that could have sunk that raid in Atabad was, yeah, man, so wasn't there. I don't know. Heard some things.
I know you heard some things, and I hope you're on August 8th with Charles. It would be too cool for school. You always have an open invite. When you bring up the Extortion 17 and wondering what the name of that QRF, Quick Reaction Force, that the Army Rangers never fucking called for. That was the first live Extortion 17 that the Army Rangers were pinned down by the Taliban and called for a QRF. And then the Army Rangers like, fuck you, we never called for a QRF. And they're the ones who walked up on the aftermath of extortion. But what's the definition of extortion? And then 1-7. I could be speculating, Bob, but there's 8 members of DevGru that took place in the so-called Bin Laden raid to kill a guy who was dead in December of 2001. And what is 1 + 7?
8.
Extortion 17. Because the 8 members that came back that were on that helo that night, Extortion 1-7, when they came back, and Charles will talk about it, I'll just, for example, Michael came back after the Bin Laden raid bullshit, and he said, "Yo, Dad," took him by the arm and said, "You won't believe what's going on in this country." And
maybe.
And Michael,
in my way of thinking,
Michael made a will.
Is that the extortion was coming from another country? The influence on this. to keep. Just remember on 9/11.
I'm not
we were-
trying to, Bob. I'm not trying. Listen, I'll shut up right now in just a moment. I'm not trying because
Okay.
I'm going to keep this, the information when we do the Extortion 17 story when Charles comes on. But Michael said, "Yo, Dad." They're from PA, Philly, PA, and he said,
Right.
"Yo, Dad." He took him by the bicep and said, "You won't believe what's going on in this country." And he's like, "Michael, tell me what's going on." He's like, and he's fucked up, and he made a will. Michael was 25, really young to be DevGru, as far as SEAL 6, and the other members made wills, and without messing it up too much, understand this: those guys were making wills because they knew they didn't kill Bin Laden. They knew it was a bullshit story. They dumped, who they dumped in the ocean? Omar Sheikh. You know who they killed? I'm not running any of this. This stuff has to come out. There's a lot of details about extortion that will be talked about on August 8th, but they dumped Omar Sheikh's body in the ocean. Omar Sheikh did a mercy killing on Bin Laden in December of 2001, which was, it's amazing how that's covered up, even though Madeleine Albright fucking gave a press conference saying he was dead in December 2001. He had Marfan's disease. He had kidney failure. He wasn't running around in Tora Bora in the mountains of Afghanistan for 10 years after the inside job at 9/11. He was dead in December 2001. Anyway, August 8th.
Speaking of Afghanistan, I read something the other day, just searching the history of that whole, since after World War One, when they broke up the Ottoman Empire, and after World War II, and how we went from 50 countries to 212. Yeah, it's called divide and conquer.
Isn't it?
And that's why what I see in the United States today, and you think about what I'm talking about, another 50 countries. Yeah. Because that's basically they've added 160 countries since 1900. Actually over. So the history of Afghanistan, the British there was a 16,000 man army, and they brought their wives and children, and this is in the, a little bit after the Alamo type, which I think it was 1836. And the Afghanis killed them to the last man.
Yeah.
Women, children, it was the worst defeat, It's like almost in comparison, it'd be like comparing it to the lost Roman legion. I mean, it was just. And then you see Russia went in there, we went in there, and Afghanistan is still flourishing.
Wow.
And now we're in Iran, which, well, if you want to do a comparison of the two countries, similar terrain, more advanced civilization, and 90 million. And anyway, it's I hate the Middle East. I spent a lot of time, but there's nothing over there. Well, oil. That was it, man. I was like, there's nothing. My first impression, man. There's nothing over here worth one American life.
Yeah, damn straight.
And I meant that, brother. And I was like, and I, when when you're in, and well, you saw me, you know I was wound tight and
Yep.
full of piss and vinegar, and you know, I saw the world just as a soldier. But I always appreciated historically the places I've seen. That was one of the things I really and truly liked about the military was, and then realizing how much I love my home, my country, you know,
Yep, roger
and then
that.
wonder what would it take. Americans look through it through a different lens. I know this, man. You can't until you've seen it. They think we're impervious. We can nuke anybody and blow it. Man, we haven't won a war in a long time, and even what you would call a win, well, I don't know. And you know, the older I get, I understand why I did what I did. And I understand why people do what they do.
Yeah.
But when you can honestly say that there's nothing here for one American soldier's life, and then you think about it, I can remember seeing all the wreckage, all the Russian tanks. Man, those things were in columns, man, mile-long columns. Then you have the artillery pieces, and you have the transports, and all but these were columns mile long. I was like, my God, dude, there's $1 billion of scrap metal.
Yeah.
And then we go back, and oh man, it's and it's oil. There you go. And that's, I guess we're finding out why the Straits of Hormuz, and and that's choking off our other enemies, or it's a crazy world, man. I'm not in those rooms. I don't make those decisions. I'll just observe. But there's a reason for the season and everything that happens when it comes to the planning.
To everything, turn.
There you go.
It's the season.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. Just it's going to be a comm check, real quick. Just in case, Tony, in case you got your ears on, could you bring my phone from outside to me? Bob, I have to. I need to send you this. I'll send it to you after the show, or maybe during the show. I don't have my phone with me.
Hello, man. Don't try to make me multitask.
No. I'm asking my producer to bring me my phone. I left it outside before the show.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But I will send you the picture of the letter that Charles Strange sent me with President Donald J. Trump and all that. We got a lot to talk about, man. And will you do this for me, Bob? You knew this cat kind of, but not really, because you were always overseas. But it's going to lead into, I usually start off talking about something on the show. It's a little different tonight because you and I are doing this show for the first time together in a long time. I try to start off with some kind of lighthearted shit and talk about something that no one really gives a fuck about, but I do, so I want to talk about it. But it's kind of an anniversary kind of coming up, and kind of we missed it with being off for 3 weeks. If you remind me, Bob, I got to tell my 4th of July having coffee at a pool deck at a hotel story.
Oh, no. No, don't have coffee at a pool deck.
At 1 a.m, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I started 4th of July.
0 out of 10 stars. Would not advise. Would not recommend.
Bob knows the entire 4th of July shit story, and I'm not going to say that at all. I'm not going to say. There might be people listening going, "Are you really going to?" No, I'm not. No, but I do want to come to that I just want to tell you. I just want to tell him, Bob, what happened at the pool deck when I was having
No,
coffee at 1 in the
sir.
morning.
No, sir.
I think that's a funny fucking story, dude.
No, sir.
Bob won't let me tell you guys a story. That's crazy.
No, sir.
Holy shit. All right, then I'm going to tell the story. I'm going to listen real quick. I'm going to tell the story.
Right, hey, look, Chad, look.
I
You're a
was,
good looking dude, man. And if a 75-year-old woman wants to come up and try to get you to go up to her room, just be, you handled it well.
hey, Tone, when you come back in, my phone's on the table outside. All right. There is no 75-year-old woman in this story. Bob's deflecting. Thank you, bro. Bob's totally deflecting. He doesn't want me to tell you a little snid
A
bit.
grenade for you, my friend.
All right. Well, I'll try and sneak the story in, folks. But at least allow me to tell this quick story, Bob, about this cat that I used to know. Okay.
All right, man. I'm just messing with you, Chad. Go ahead, brother. Tell your story, man.
Well, I'm going to tell the cat story now, and then if I remember, I'll tell the 4th of July story, and everyone can blame it on you. But listen, and the reason why I'm telling this story is it's kind of an anniversary, and it's going to go into next Saturday night for the anniversary. Because it just kind of leads into someone that I want to mention that was a really, really fucking awesome friend of mine who unfortunately passed away and all this jazz. But he was one of the greatest people you could ever have the pleasure to know. But when Bob, I don't know if you ever met Morale. Okay, I forget if you met Morale. Like I said, you're deployed and all that shit. But this is like coming out the cusp of your little brother and me being in high school, right? And there was this cat. Okay, I promise. Listen, I promise you're not going to be fucking bored. It's time well spent. It's a short story. But there was this cat, Bob, before I started playing professional beach volleyball. I'm still in high school. I started playing when I was still in high school, but it was before it took me 3 years to win a tournament and all this. But so I was like 15, 16. This cat, this big orange, short-haired, he was orange and a little bit of white in his fur. Huge. Just huge cat. Not fat. Not fat at all. Just huge. We kind of joked around like, is he like a
big
Bob?
bone? Big bone. He was big bone.
He was an athletic, huge, just muscle ripping cat. But he was the first day I saw him, those recycling bins that we have, they had picked up the recycling and it's turned over and he was stumbling down the road. He was fucked up. And he was drinking whatever liquor was left in the recycling bin and I called him over and he was friendly as hell and he didn't have any meow to him. It was just meow, meow. That's all he ever said was meow. So I named him Meow. But this cat, I was going out to the beach to play a day of pickup games, beach volleyball pickup games. And it's hot as shit. And I didn't have any, I didn't know. I'd never had a cat. I was like, milk? Gave him a bowl of milk. And he drank the entire bowl of milk and all this shit. And when I got back from playing, he was still hanging around the driveway. And on the way home, I got him some cat food. So, cat food and water. Long story short, this ends up a number of years of me just feeding this cat. And he was just awesome. He loved people. Turns out he despised other animals. He loved to fight. He would come home. Well, home, he would come back to the house with battle scars all the fucking time. This cat was just fucking fighting all the time. He wouldn't. He's not the cat that would bring something that he killed and leave it on your doorstep. You'd find it in the yard, a bird, a squirrel, completely eaten, except he'd leave the heart, rib cage open. He always left the heart. He was weird, but he was in fights all the time, and this kind of comes into what I'm going to when I talk about Mike Highsmith next week very quickly. I had gotten home. Well, before that, okay. So Mrau, this fucking cat, awesome cat. When it was hot as shit outside, I'd let him in before I went to the beach, and he'd sleep on the couch. When it was cold as hell, he'd be at the door. He'd be like, "Mrau, like let me the fuck in. It's cold as shit." And and he'd warm up and stuff like that. But he always wanted to go right back out. He would never would have been a house cat. But he was always in fights, all this. And one day he came back here, and the entire left side of his face was a bloody pulp, Bob. Bloody. You couldn't see his eye. He was unrecognizable on the left side of his face. And I never, listen, he wasn't really my cat. He's just an outside cat that I fed. And what I did do, and he was so docile with me, I took hydrogen peroxide and water and washed his face. And he moved around a lot, but he didn't scratch me or bite me. He just, obviously that was stinging a lot. I cleaned him up, but he was fucked up. He was really fucked up. And he slept in the garage for a week and a half. And just, he was just, he would get up and eat here and there. I mean, he was messed up. I've never seen him that messed up, right? And so this is where it goes into Mike Highsmith. I get home from the beach one day with some really fucking fucked up news about something that happened to Mike, and I'm not gonna, just being truthful here. I got home and I put down, a good amount of cervezas, Bob, when I heard about what happened to Mike. And Mrau, you have to understand, Mrau is still in the garage recuperating from whatever the fuck happened to him. And this woman comes up the driveway onto my driveway, and she says, "Where is your cat?" And I'm like, "I don't own a cat." And I'm hammered. And she says, "The orange cat, the big orange cat. Everyone around here told me that you're the one that feeds him." All this jazz. And I'm like, "Yeah, I do feed him, but I don't own him." And she's like, "Where is he?" And I was like, at this point, I'm like, "Hey, fuck you, lady. Get the hell off of my property. I don't know where the cat is." At this point, I'm like, what did you do, Mrau? And he's in the garage recuperating. I shit you not, folks. We have this, this interaction with one another, but she says, "Your cat killed my pit bull. He's dead." And then in my mind, I was like, that's why he's so fucked up. I've never seen Mrau that fucked up. So Mrau killed her pit bull. He loved fighting. That's why he was so fucked up. That's my Mrau dog story. My cat that wasn't my cat actually killed a pit bull. And I hid him from her, obviously, yeah.
He was a fugitive from justice.
Yeah. I mean, he killed the pit bull. He fucked the pit bull up. The pit bull fucked him up, but the pit bull died of its infections. That's it's not like Mrau slayed him. He died of his infections. Mrau recuperated.
Well, see, there's a lot of symbolism in that story. When you think about a pit bull being like the most ferocious, whatever, kills more people than every other breed combined type stuff.
David slayed Goliath.
Pretty much. Hey, morale, I like to scrap.
He loved to
What
fight.
you got, boy?
Yeah.
I ain't giving you my lunch money.
Yep. That cat was a bully, man. I mean, he ran the neighborhood. He did not like other animals. It was like, but I guarantee you, Ralph fucking started the fight.
All right. So, and by the way, Chad made a donation to PETA, and we Foster's now, and he does not endorse Rao's behavior, and they had a stern talking to, and he set up a college fund in that pit bull's name.
And for all of his children's.
Yes. I think what did it go, 5 liters deep?
Yeah. 5 liters deep. That scholarship's going to take care of a good amount of litters. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, but that cat was just a phenomenal
Morale.
cat. Yeah.
Morale cat.
Yeah, Morale. Yeah. He was one and only, man. One and only, that cat. It's just we always would joke around that you remember Dave, right?
Yeah.
Dave ended up calling him Morale Dog. He was like, he's one of our dogs, Morale Dog. He just hang out with us all this shit while we smoke pot. But back in the pot smoking days. But Morale was just Dave was like, he's got to be a cross between a bobcat and a regular cat because he was so damn big. And anyway, that cat was. But hey, I will say this: Morale had what would it be? He's noble in how he started fights real quick. And folks, I promise we'll get on to something else. There was one day I'm sitting in a beach chair with the garage door open, and my truck is backed up, and there's a big bush to my left, so I can't really see the street. I'm trying to have privacy from people. I don't like people. Anyway, I'm just hanging out with Morale, and we're having a conversation. I'm like, Morale, what are you doing? He's like, Morale. And all of a sudden, he goes in between the bush and the truck in this crouched position. And so I had to stand up and look, and there's this big, short-haired brown dog. I don't know what kind of dog, but it's a pretty damn big dog. And he's in the yard, probably looking to take a piss or shit or whatever, and Morale didn't like that. But Morale, I guess noble is the way to say, Morale kept sneaking up behind the dog, and he waited for the dog to see him. And I watched this, and I was like, wow, I'm actually watching Morale actually in action. I just always saw the battle wounds. And the dog looks back and sees Morale, and he yelps and starts running. And then Morale takes a couple quick steps and jumps in the air with his right paw and gets the back hind corner with his claws into the back hind corner of this dog, and then he yelps even more and runs across the street and disappears behind some houses. And Morale stopped at the property line, came back just sniffing and hissing. He wasn't having any dog fucking on his property, man. That's Morale. I was impressed. Hey Bob, did you hear Did you hear about the sad news about Sonny Hostin's son from the View?
No.
The sad her son, unfortunately. You know Sonny Hostin from the View, right? She loves Donald Trump and is not a racist at all and loves white people and stuff.
Yeah, I know who she is. Or over.
I saw the body cam footage, and this is fucking hilarious. And I'm just saying this because this is about privilege. A chick who, by the way, whoever she's married to is why she's rich as shit, not because she does the View, or she's a former prosecutor. It's because of who she's married to. But her son was doing whatever he was doing. Remember, he's a Harvard graduate, but he was walking around on a piece of property in railroad tracks, and the law enforcement who they're kind of patrolling that area on the regular because a lot of people fucking get killed fucking around trespassing on this particular rail yard. And
Well,
so he got he
all rail yards are off limits. The railroad has their own police,
yeah.
but now all they really do call it in to the local authorities while they get the railroad police out there. But yeah, you're not supposed trespassing on railroad.
Yeah, man. So
I think it's like 20 something, 50 foot. The railroad zone on each side of the track, and if you're anywhere, yeah, it's trespassing. Oh my God, yeah.
so the point of it, I'm just trying to continue with some humor is so this is on body cam, okay? So the dude calls his mommy. So Sonny Hostin's son calls his mommy. And you hear her on the phone. I'm a federal prosecutor. No, Sonny, you're a former prosecutor. He's a Harvard graduate. Well, doesn't that mean he's an adult? But so he's calling his mommy, who's going to get. No, so he got arrested for criminal trespass, and this chick literally comes down and is still saying, "Are you really going to arrest him?" And they're like, "Yeah." But I'm on the View. Okay. But yes, we're going to do our job. The
railroad is controlled under those security as a vital target, and the trespassing laws, is really no joke. And I don't know how you think you can. But you know what? His mom's Sonny Hostin or whatever, and he probably will get out of it. But if anybody else, no, you got to charge.
he got charged that day. I mean, I watched the entire body cam footage. She tried over and over again.
Well, all it is, probably 152 or 50. Well, maybe $500 or $1,000 fine. To be honest, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a court date. Pay your fucking fine. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you're trespassing.
Yeah. It's really not that big of a deal, but just the name dropping shit, whatever. I mean, you want people to do their job, but not but if it's your son, Sonny, no, then people can't do their jobs. Shut the fuck up.
Well,
And your son, it was like, I don't know how many times she said he's a Harvard graduate. Well, whoop-de-fucking do. He's a Harvard graduate. He's an adult.
How many Harvard graduates do you know were trespassing on railroad property?
I don't care if you're a graduate from fucking Jim Community College. You're trespassing.
Yeah. Well, he could have been a foamer, out there trying to get pictures, and I can understand that. It happens everywhere. But yeah, it's actually very high sensitive. Never mind. I can't talk about this stuff.
It's all cool, man. I'm just bringing up the fact that you got someone who loves
But
this
he
country so
will
much.
get out of it. He will get he'll probably get a good talking to. I'll take care of it. Yeah. And I would expect nothing less. Had it been me or you, you know.
Well, all right. So now I'm going to tell my July 4th story. Before we get into heavy shit, viewers on Rumble X and YouTube, we're about to go into some other dark places, so stand by. But before, can I tell my July 4th story?
Yes, sir.
Now Bob's going to let me tell the story. Earlier, it was there's no way I was going to be able to tell the story. I can't tell the entire story. I can't tell the entire story of how I got there. All right. Some people are like, "What'd you do on July 4th, 250 birthday?" Well, let's just say I can't go into the details, but somehow I found myself at a hotel out of town, and I knew the name of the hotel I was at, but I had no idea where the fuck I was because I don't live in that city, and I didn't like have everything with me. It's a long story. Everything worked out, but I'm at this hotel. It's 1 a.m. I went up and checked into this hotel. Realized I didn't have everything with me. I didn't have everything with me. I had multiple bags, and I only brought one bag. Didn't have everything with me. I went down to the lobby, and the overnight desk clerk, I guess you call it, she was very nice, and said, "Yeah, you can have coffee, and yeah, pool deck has an area where you can sit and all this." So I got some coffee and I sat down, trying to figure some shit out because I'm trying to figure out how am I going to get back to my car in the morning because I don't have everything I need in order to facilitate that. And this guy sits down next to me. Bob, by the way, folks, Bob knows the entire story. I can only tell you this a little bit right now. This guy sits down next to me. It's a hallway screened in porch area at the pool deck, and he can't really. It's back and forth whether he's like maybe a little deaf, a little mute, whatever. He could understand me. I couldn't understand what the fuck he was saying. So he started writing on his phone in order to talk to me, and so he would hand the phone to me, and I'd read what he'd say, and eventually, and so he could understand me. I just couldn't understand him. Blah blah blah. And so we're having this conversation. I'm telling him like details that I can't say now, but I'm telling him the details because pretty stressful night. And I was like, dude, it's so good to have someone to talk to in a situation like this. And he's like, and he's telling me some of his life story and all this. And he's like, yeah, people need people to talk to. So this was going good until he writes. Bob's about to lose it. Until he writes on his phone to me, we can go to the ATM and I can get you some money. I'm horny.
Man, you know what? I think it's funnier the second time I heard it.
Dude.
Yeah.
Luckily, I told Dick Johnson the next, well, he called me back. I was calling him You know, I knew you were asleep. I knew he was asleep. Blah blah blah. It's 1 in the morning. It's 3 in the morning. I got back to the hotel room, but I politely told that guy, basically, no, thank you. I'll find another way back to my car, and and all this. But luckily, the next morning, I mean, he did the fist to the mouth thing when I was reading where he said I'm horny. I told Dick Johnson, he called me at like 8 the next morning, and this was funny too because he's like, "Well, where are you?" I'm like, "There's one window in this room," and I'm looking out, and I'm like, "I don't know. I can't even read the name of the building next to me." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Well, just go to there's a phone sitting there, and the address will be on the." I was like, "Oh yeah." And so
You know,
Dick Johnson got me an Uber. He was in Jacksonville, but he sent an Uber to me to that hotel to bring me back to my Interceptor so I could get back to Jacksonville. Go ahead, Bob.
I've got to admire, the handicap dude, just for the simple fact.
He hasn't given up.
Well, we're a audio civilization. We speak and, but this guy went straight to text. So he's using written communication, right?
Yeah.
And then he's actually doing the hand signs, giving you the visual. I mean, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
No shit, right?
Oh my God. Like, you got to admire his level of commitment.
Damn straight.
Oh.
Damn straight.
Kind of like being in Thailand or something. Hey, what?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, and I hope everyone can appreciate. I didn't bring up race. I didn't bring up age. I just told you the story. You know, he was a little too old for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember I was telling Dick Johnson when he called me and he's getting me the Uber. I was like, if anything's gonna test me, Jimmy, it's last night where I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna get back to my car, and because I don't have my wallet with me, I have nothing. How am I gonna? And and I did not accept his offer. When you're in desperate situation, I was like, I'll find some other way. I'll find some other way.
Well, and the sad part is there's opportunists
Mm-hmm.
that prey
On people
on
and
people.
on certain situations. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, brother. It's crazy, man. That's that's a funny story.
Yeah.
But what if that was just 16-year-old, 18-year-old kid or whatever?
Oh yeah.
You get where I'm coming from, man?
Oh yeah. It could have
I
been
don't know.
It could have
I
been.
don't know.
It could have been. It could have been a shakedown too. Who knows? Maybe you had some people waiting outside. I don't know, but doesn't matter. I didn't take the whatever the bait was, but I think he was pretty genuine. I think he was fucking horny, man.
Okay, well, I mean, dude, like I said, he gave 2 forms of communication, and that if that don't prove his intent, I mean, he's texting and playing what do they call that? Pictionary.
Dictionary,
Yeah.
charades, whatever.
Charades.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. He's doing charades.
I mean, from the charade demonstration, it looks like you could maybe do it really well. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, folks, just remember a PSA: nothing good happens after midnight.
Especially around 3, the witching hour. Always be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad he didn't ask me to go, take a swim too. I mean, probably would have led to that. Who knows? But you know what?
Well,
Thinking about this, Bob, I don't think that dude was like staying at the hotel. Actually, one of the guy who picked me up the next morning, the Uber driver, who was really really nice, by the way, really cool guy. And by the way, when he dropped me off at my Interceptor, you know what he said? He said Happy Independence Day, which was awesome.
roll tide.
She didn't say 4th of July. He said Happy Independence Day. It struck me. I was like, too cool. And he was an awesome dude, man. And I told him the story about what we were just talking about. And he's like, you know what? I see that a lot. And he probably wasn't even staying at the hotel. He's just a predator.
And where was this, by the way?
Tallahassee. You know that.
Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Do you remember the former mayor of Tallahassee who ran against Ron DeSantis?
Oh, was that the cross-dressing crack cheating on his wife gay guy?
Yeah, Andrew Gillum
Yeah.
was his name.
Yeah.
And he only lost the governorship of the state of Florida by like 30,000 votes.
Florida is now America because DeSantis won, but we almost became New York City.
Well, unfortunately, I got to ask the audience this question, and you too, Chad, because I was astonished the other day doing a little, kind of like a dollar ain't what it used to be. Well, neither's population. The numbers that I remember states having has changed a lot. Did you know there's 26 million people in Florida? I don't remember numbers that high ever. I just don't. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And where are these people coming from?
Getting the fuck out of blue cities.
Uh-huh. Well, they sold their houses, these 1,200-foot houses, for $1 million, $2 million, and went down to Florida and bought. Anyway, and what does that do? Raise the property anyway. So immigration, people are going to Florida, and why wouldn't they, man? It's I spent 20 something years in Florida of my life, maybe more. Actually, it was more, but loved it. It was a great place to be.
Oh yeah.
But the population is. I can remember when California had 27 million people, is all I'm saying. You get where I'm coming from, man? And they probably got 40, 50 now. I don't even know what they got.
Oh, they're losing their population because they're part
But just what I'm getting at is a population that big. Andrew Gillum almost became your governor.
Dude, I know.
And he just got arrested in Alabama a week ago.
Did he really?
Wow. Yeah.
For what?
Driving drunk, several types of drugs, prescription, whatever he had ever. I don't want to get into all that. He got popped.
Wow. Yeah, man, it was a close call. Would I say Florida would have been New York, for example? I know it's a state, but I'm talking about New York City, all this shit. But it would have been New York. It would have been California. It would have been. It was right on the cusp before the whole COVID one-niner bullshit. So everyone here in Florida, in order to work, would have had to fucking take the bullshit jab, bullshit.
I remember that election too, Chad. The time change from Tallahassee on through the Panhandle, from Eastern to Central, and everybody I knew was watching these things intently and basically waiting for the people in the panhandle to get off of work and vote. That's the truth. And that's exactly how it played out.
Yeah. It was a really close call for this
But in a
state.
state with 27, 26 million people, this guy lost by 30,000 votes. That's close. To me, that's too, that's like, I don't know.
And then DeSantis won in a huge landslide the next election because people were like, "Thank you." So there you go. But yeah, Booby, I know you've seen the sign before and all this, but if any of you great viewers out there on Rumble X and YouTube, if they haven't already, I'm just kidding, YouTube. But if you're in Florida, then you know. If you're not in Florida, when you go into Florida and leave Florida, it says, "Welcome to the free state of Florida." And when you leave Florida, it says, "Hurry back to the free state of Florida." That's too cool. Governor Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, he was a front runner for president.
Well, I mean, listen, I'm glad he stayed governor. I think he's the best motherfucking governor in the country, maybe the country's ever had. Period.
I think you're right on that.
Dude's too cool. And the good news is Byron Donaldson is running away with it. He's going to be the next governor once DeSantis gets done with his final term. And Byron Donaldson is DeSantis 2.0, so it's all good. So
Well, you know, I hope so.
well, yeah, man. I mean, that's why I'm lobbying for you to get back to Florida as soon as possible and all that shit.
Well, I'm out of politics these days.
Really?
I left the Republicans and before Bush's second term, voted for Ron Paul a couple times, but I went back to the Republican Party for Trump because where I live now, you have to be in the party to vote. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to declare one of the D or R. And I said, well, let's do it. And, I find myself the happiest point of politics. Kind of like that energy that's all we are, right? I'm a Ron Paul Republican. I'm a conservative and a liberal. I'm what they don't want.
Bob.
And so was Ron Paul, dude. Everybody, here's the thing that everybody said about Ron Paul. Oh man, I like his fiscal policy, but he's weak on defense. And if you look at what he was saying then, it's kind of like Ross Perot. These people now turn out, historically, as prophets. Everything they were saying happened.
Bob, listen. For example, obviously, you and I are huge Ron Paul fans. I've always loved Dr. Ron Paul. A lot of people, I mean, I don't know if they know, but Ron Paul on the regular would go on Alex Jones's show. Ron Paul was on Alex Jones's show while he was still a sitting congressman and through the years running for president all the time. I mean, multiple times a year. And Ron Paul would never look at Alex Jones sideways when Alex would talk about the New World Order. He'd be like, "Yeah, let's talk about the New World Order. Yeah, let's end the Federal Reserve. Yeah, the creature from Jekyll Island." Our first guest ever on the show, G. Griffin, the creature from Jekyll Island. Ron Paul would effing talk about the Fed. He'd talk about the New World Order on the regular as a sitting congressman. The fact that 9/11 was an inside job as a sitting congressman. He was a phenomenal person. Phenomenal person. And probably a president that wouldn't back down in all this. But, there's a lot of shit that goes on once you get into the position of POTUS, but I love the hell out of Ron Paul. And I'm with you on the whole Ron Paul thing. I wish, and I'm not banging on him, I wish his son was just a little bit more like Ron Paul. He's a great senator of my home state of Kentucky. I like Rand Paul, but I wish he was more like his father and be like, listen, we need to end this New World Order fucking shit, end the Fed. 9/11 was an inside job. We need an investigation. Stuff like that. I think it would be absolutely too cool if we could do that. By the way, Bob, did you
Yep.
did you hear that WNBA history was made last night?
What?
WNBA. I know you watch the WNBA all the
Oh,
time.
dude, yeah, I've got the fucking season pass, fucking box seats, whatever the hell they do. Yeah, man. I'm all about me some WNBA.
You got seats on the 50-yard line,
Who
whatever
was
they
the
have there.
blonde that
Yeah.
was pointing? They made a meme of.
Well, I mean, she's on the same team. The hot chick, she's on the same team. With
She
Sophie
was pretty. She was.
Sophie Cunningham. Yeah.
She was, that was her name. Yeah. So I watch the NBA now.
She's on the same. She's on
She's
the
an enforcer.
Bob. She's on the same team as Kelly Clarkson. I mean, Kelly
Yeah,
Clarkson.
but
Holy
is
fuck.
she the protector? Is she her
No,
protector?
no.
Tell
Listen,
us
now people are
about.
going to rip me. I mean, Caitlin Clark. Okay, the
Yeah,
best
Caitlin
player,
Clark.
the best player in the WNBA. I'm just saying, Caitlin Clark last night went 45-10. Made WNBA history. Scored 45 points with 10 assists.
She's on fire.
There you go. Is that a Rihanna song? I don't know.
No, that was damn. That NBA Tecmo Bowl, whatever, or not. Anyway, it was, Michael Jordan.
Like,
One of them Nintendo games from back in the day, man, and you'd play, and he's on fire.
oh,
when you
he's on
light
fire.
up and
I
the
thought you were
ball
talking about
turns.
some song.
Yeah, no, it's a video game, my friend.
No, but that's too cool. But I was watching. Honestly, I was watching the entire. Not the entire game, but they edited portions of each play and everything because I was like, well, Sophie Cunningham.
Yeah, right. Hey,
Just wanted
that's
to look
like
at
the
Sophie.
WNBA.
Got into marketing with Sports Illustrated.
Bob, where'd you go there?
We can increase viewership.
Who's that? Oh, for the WNBA.
Yeah, right. Hey, we got a scorer and we got a hottie with a body, and she's an enforcer. I'm basically looking at it as WWE promotion type shit.
Yeah.
The whole. Hey, man, you know what? Drama. Crazy. There's no such thing as bad publicity. You get what I'm saying? Storylines, baby. Now she has a protector, my bodyguard, and she's hot. Deal with it.
Deal with it. Hey, Bob, I'm gonna send you AA Amendment Avenger. You just is listening to the show, and he just sent me an awesome dun, dun, dun. How do I send this to you? Where are you, Bob? There you are.
Double A, what's up, brother?
He just sent me this picture. Oh, it says blocked by auto blocker. Why are you?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, now I got to get back to the damn text so I can. Hold on, just a minute. And shit. Auto blocker. I don't even know what auto blocker is. Anyway, it's a picture of Ron Paul sitting in a chair, right?
Yeah.
And it says, "What if I told you I already told you, and you just didn't listen?"
Well, he did.
Yeah.
Just like they didn't listen to Ross Perot. The one thing that I'll remember about Ron Paul outside, he was a bloodhound and hearings and shit, and he asked the questions, and Rand did too.
Yeah.
Rand called Fauci out, dude. I'll
He
give Rand
did.
that.
I
Dude.
get-
You
I
say
get-
what you want.
I
but
give
everybody's
Rand
like,
total props for the whole Fauci stuff. Yeah, big time.
and he called out Hillary Clinton and Benghazi. So
Yeah.
And by the way, he was right on all accounts.
I was never banging on Rand. I just said I'd like to see him be like exactly like his father.
I know, but I think he knows more about. I mean, he's been in the Senate now 2 terms, right? I mean, he's on his 3rd.
Yeah.
So, and here's how powerful that message from Ron Paul, the Tea Party, whatever, and Rand Paul. You know, Rand Paul ran for president. Ron Paul ran for president a couple times, and you saw what the Republican Party did to him both times, or 3 times. Now, with Rand, Trump went right after him on first day, and then he went to Jeb. He eliminated the competition early, man. Why?
Yeah.
Because they were the strongest opposition. That's 100%, and he knew that. I mean, you know, he got the biggest ones out from the jump. That being said, you know what Ross Perot said, what Ron Paul said, it all came to pass. That's why I call them prophets, because they really and truly did predict it. And you know, it wasn't about money, fame, fortune, whatever. There's knowledge is power, but they were telling you, they were telling us.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I guess they didn't have the smoking gun at that time. That alerter inside of each of us. Holy shit, man! This guy's he's not bullshit, man. We got to prepare.
Right.
Maybe it's the boiling frog. But now, and this is about that whole thing about energy and time, because we were there, we all heard it. What did we do? It's happened. Who does it rest with? Who's to blame? They weren't lying, and here we are. What next? And I think the scary part is, I think everybody knows what's next. And it ain't pretty. Like I said earlier, the difference between America, people looking through American colored lenses, you know, red, white, and blue lenses looking at the world, is what separates us from this sub-Saharan desert to this village in Malariaville. What separates us? And I would tell my friends, well, when the electricity runs out for 2 months, you'll understand the whole civility thing that you.
Yeah.
And you know what? In some parts of the country, something like that, it might not even matter too much. But in other parts of the country, high concentration, metropolis type areas,
Bob, you gotta tell everyone because a lot of people listening to the show have never been to Afghanistan and Iraq and all those lovely places, and they have not had a chance to vacation like you had many chances to vacation in those lovely places. What's the name of those big motherfucking flies?
Camouflage,
Camel flies.
bro.
Tell people about the camel flies.
Look, you've seen a household fly here in America. You've probably seen a horse fly, the ones that bite, But and those are probably the largest flies that I've ever seen in America. Over there, they got these camouflage, dude, and they're ugly, man. They're not like a little black and no, this thing's got like little pus warts all over his body, and the damn thing's about a fucking inch long or a half an inch at least, And these are, and they're disgusting. I've never seen anything like it, man. I mean, I remember digging my first hasty. Actually, I dug a foxhole and a hasty, but and out of the walls at night, I've never seen anything like that. They didn't go any briefing over this shit. Fucking dung beetles
Oh
are
shit!
crawling out the walls, bro. And one thing I will say about that part of the world at night, the moon on a lot of nights anyway, it looked like you were on the surface of the moon, or for real, like crater kind of whatever. But it was like white, like being at the sandy sugar sand beaches of, let's say, Datsun, Panama City, whatever.
Yeah.
It was like, holy shit, man! It was all illuminated, so it was like almost I'm not gonna say fluorescent, but it was definitely illuminated. But these dung beetles, man, and I looked at, dude, it freaked me out. I jumped out of that thing, and I looked down, and it was like a Stephen King movie, maybe. But the whole bottom, the floor of my foxhole is covered in these black, big, like
Holy
goddamn
shit.
Star Trek putting in your ear type beetle looking
Ugh.
thing
Ugh.
crawling around all over each other. I'm like, holy shit, they're crawling out the walls and everything, every side, like everywhere, like. And then I realized, just so you understand where I'm going with this, because I know Iran understands the strategy. You can't survive in that heat. You go underground like them dung beetles crawling out the fucking. And dude, my foxhole's fucking 5.2, because that's to my armpit deep,
Holy
and
shit!
they're everywhere, brother. So you go underground, you tunnel. That's how they survive. I sat there and peeled an orange and threw the peels down on the desert, and out of nowhere, they showed up, and they sucked every freaking bit of moisture out of those orange peels. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I mean, they look like raisins. They sucked every bit of it out. Like, anyway, once you get used to that, killing people ain't so.
Once you get used to that, right? Holy shit! Holy shit! That's I mean, so Bob he has started a travel company for Afghanistan and Iraq, folks. If you're looking to vacation, Bob, have you launched your travel agency yet? I'm sure you'll get a bunch of
Yeah,
customers.
I highly do not recommend. Yeah. Stay home, keep your power on, you know, keep your AC running, and yeah. But it's all about, what's going on.
Hey, listen.
Nothing changed from the neocon PNAC documents, their vision of the world, quarter it up, and who runs what. And that's 28. I think it was in 98. That's 28 years old. That policy, the neocon,
Project for the New American Century. Yeah.
right? And that was their goal, man. That was their goal, and it was basically, in my opinion, or my understanding, it was to decentralize and basically give the powers that be. Well, and that's debatable because that plan was basically China gets Asia, we get North South America, and I guess it's between Russia and England or UK who gets Europe, and between Israel and Iran who gets the Middle East. But that's what they said. They wanted to break it up into four spheres of influence.
Yeah.
And from what we've done in Venezuela, I see it, dude. This is like it's coming true. It's happened, and without a word, like okay, we just took all their oil in Venezuela, and now we're going to.
We just seized the large.
You there, Bob? Hello, Bob.
Hello,
You back again?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How about you?
Well, I got a phone call, and I guess it.
Oh, well, you need to tell people when you're on the phone you're doing a show. Just you want me to do some professional stalling?
I just got an Amazon delivery at 10:22.
Amazon delivery. Nice.
You remember when Walmart's used to stay open 24/7?
Oh man, it was some of my favorite shopping.
COVID took that away from us. I thought about that today.
That is such bullshit, dude. I remember an ex-girlfriend of mine that no one ever liked. I have problems with some ex-girlfriends. Nobody that I know likes them type shit. But her and I had a great effing night shopping at like 2 a.m. at Walmart. It was too cool because we needed shit.
Yeah.
And no one else was open. So I mean, otherwise, fuck Walmart. But they were open, and we needed some stuff. I do miss that. It was fun.
COVID took that away, brother.
Yeah. Well, I mean, COVID took a lot of. I think Dr. Brooks Agnew. By the way, folks, Dr. Agnew will be back on the show next Saturday night. He's in Mount Shasta tonight, by the way, because he is the world's most interesting man. You can go to brooksagnew.com, brooksagnew.com. Check out everything that he has there, his great best-selling books, his products for you, and remember his show. You like good talk radio, talk shows, whatever these are now. His show, X Squared Radio, you go to brooksagnew.com and you can find out how to listen to it every Sunday night and Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. We look forward to having Dr. Agnew back on next Sabado Noche, and I hear Bear in the background, my favorite German Shepherd, Bob.
Yeah, Bear's he just had a bath, so he's a clingy kind of guy.
Hey,
Hold on a second. Let me tell him to hush up.
no, he's fine. He's not loud.
Yeah, he's pretty obedient.
I'm just saying hi to Bear. That's all, man. Did he miss the fuck out of Hero when Hero passed?
Man. It's like losing a member, man. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Hero was a hell of a fucking dog, dude. He's all German Shepherd.
Mentor. Mm-hmm. He was a real dude. He was the best mentor. I got real lucky.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. It was a talk about that German Shepherd, and I remember my Tio Alfredo in the Dominican Republic. He used to breed German Shepherds, and and his and Sasha was the mother of all the puppies and stuff. And Sasha was this just incredible German Shepherd, and that's where I fell in love with German Shepherds, man. And they're just great dogs.
I had a different story with German Shepherds. I had a neighbor had one, and I had a collie, and it was female. And a German Shepherd was, man, he wasn't, he was mean. No, I'm just being for real, man. He was, I've never had a dog like that. And so I had an opinion,
Sure.
beautiful, but mean, dude. And he was trained that way or raised that way, whatever,
Sure.
But they're the most, man. It's all about how you train them, but they're very intelligent. It's one of the best breeds, I believe. I mean, I've only had two, but I've had a whole lot of other animals.
I don't know if Morale could have killed a German Shepherd. You know?
Well, you know what's funny as you was talking about Morale, I've taken in a stray to this winter. It got really cold, and my girls, were able to get him inside. I've been feeding him for years, and
Little kitty cat?
yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful cat, Oreo. They cleaned him up, got all this. I mean, but we were always worried because Hero didn't like cats. Hero was kind of the most alert German Shepherd.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes.
He heard everything. He was the typical guardian. He walked, my house isn't small. He walked around this house. He paced and slept an hour here. He posted guard all around this house. I'm not lying, Brent. I'm not lying. This dog posted for guard duty. Like every hour, he'd go somewhere else, and he always protected the girls' rooms and stuff. And man, he was a centurion by every account, man. And you know what? There's not a security company, that you're going to get that,
Oh, yeah.
And I miss him. I do. We all do.
That's a great doggy, man. One of the best doggies ever.
I appreciate that, man. I think so, man. I'd like to think, I saved him. All my dogs were rescues, but maybe he saved me, man. So there you go. We had it like that.
Hero and you were a team, dude. So that's stuff that people it's not a lot of people get to experience that type of relationship with any doggy or kitty cat and all that. And it's just that is the deal. I was trying to. I don't know if we're gonna do this or not, Booby, but let's talk about music. Fucking Doc.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking talk about music, man. All right, we can quiz each other because, it's not a quiz, but
Rooster.
Rooster, Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Dirt is the name of the album. Yeah. Okay.
That song has always meant something like really deep.
Rooster? Oh, well, especially with that's a hell of a
Really
song.
deep. Well,
Dude,
really,
Jerry Cantrell, who wrote the song, his father was Rooster. Seriously.
his father, yeah, he's in the video
Yeah.
talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, the best thing he said, man, a whole lot of killing.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't want it for nobody.
Yep.
Hope nobody has ever see that.
Here they come to
And
snuff the rooster.
I see a lot of Americans, man, talking nuking and shit. You know, like their regard for life. And then you realize that only 1% serve. The 1% that fight the wars.
Yep.
Huh.
All right, so you gave me a quiz. I didn't mean we were going to.
I'm ready for you now. What you got?
All right. What's the frequency, Kenneth?
REM.
Album.
Oh, you got an album? Hold on, man. Hold on. That was
I gave you Dirt with Alice in Chains.
yeah, I know, man. I know, but here's the funny thing. I used to have every one. That was I want to say that song came out in the late 80s, early 90s, wasn't it? 88, 91, too. I don't know. That would have been. All right, I'm stumped, man, but you got to tell me because now I'm.
Well,
Losing my brain.
you're supposed to know, man. I knew. Is it Murmur?
What's the frequency, Kenneth?
You think it's Murmur?
You know, the funny thing about that is I looked that album up and was so amazed because it wasn't one of the earlier ones, you know, Life's Rich Pageant, Murmur, Dead Letter Office, Reckoning. It was Green. Man, it was after Green.
It was
man.
after Green.
Yeah, it was after Green. That's all I can say. I don't think it was Document. No, that was.
I'll screw everything up if I start trying to ask
Yeah,
Google shit.
yeah. Anyway, it was REM. Yeah, what's the frequency, Kenneth?
Yeah. I'll just look this up so we know, and then we'll go from there. That's a great song. Here's the thing, Bob. When you first put me on to REM,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I always loved "Losing My Religion." Obviously, you know the huge radio song.
Yeah, the one I love and all. Yeah.
But when you turned me on to REM in general, and I started listening to them big time, you know, beyond. It's on Monster.
Monster. See, and I
Yeah.
don't. You know what? I never had Monster.
Holy shit!
And
But
I
your
couldn't tell
your
you-
favorite song? I mean, that's a song that I was like, holy shit! I've never heard this before, and that really made me dive deep into REM. Is when I heard "What's the Frequency," Kenneth. I was like, holy
Yeah,
shit!
but you know, audio back then, you know, whether it was a disc, an album, a lot of my early stuff was cassettes because, you know, it's what you played in your car, dude. That was your riding music. I never bought Monster. And I'd have to actually look at the playlist on that album because, you know, I didn't feel like I missed something. Yeah, you got maybe one good song. It used to be when you bought an album, every song was good. Maybe one or two, you're like, you know, but it was like, yeah, okay. Those were good albums. The thing about Michael Stipe, like what, oh my gosh, Eddie Vedder was trying to say, if you can understand him and the lyrics,
Yeah,
a lot of those songs, if you think about a little bit of symbolism in his words,
he's a great lyricist. Period. Yeah.
man, I've got a different way of looking about things. About they. I'm not going to say they're the foundation of the Seattle sound, but they did do something in college radio from Athens, Georgia, to blow up and be one of the most successful American bands ever.
Oh, dude, listen, they were grunge before Seattle, in a lot of
Right.
ways. In a lot of ways, yeah, yeah, totally conscious driven, aware of what's going on type of music being made.
They
You
were
know,
kind of political,
they
bro, but
they were in the
it was
they were in the middle of the hair bands, and they made it. You know, the hair band. The '80s was a me.
oh sure,
Type thing.
consumerism, hundred
Yeah,
percent.
and the hair band. So if you talk about like trying to make it in rock in the '80s, it was just there was Huey Lewis, and then there was fucking White Snake or something, or the. So, I mean, tons of better. Just the hair bands. I'm not putting them down. They have some good songs.
Well,
David
you know,
Coverdale has some damn good songs. He was a damn
if you
great
want to
singer.
think about the '80s music scene, from when MTV first,
Yeah.
man, a lot of those, and I can't actually pull percentages, but at certain points, man, the majority of what they were playing on MTV at the inception was English bands.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There was a whole, I can't get, there's a whole list, but
World Order and
oh, yes, New World Order, or New World Order, New Order.
New Order. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
And the Our House in the Middle of the Street, where the fuck that band is, I don't know. There's tons of them. But
exactly.
yeah, it was a
Men
lot
at
of
Work, yeah, they're Australian, but you
yeah,
get where I'm coming from.
yeah,
It
a lot of
was
foreign bands on MTV is what you're saying.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. But in the midst of it, of course, you also a lot of people don't know this, but Bob was the guy at the pool deck in the 4th of July. I'm just kidding. A lot of people don't know this, but Bob, I mean, straight up, I've said it before on the show. And by the way, when this was a terrestrial radio show, producer Sentinel, a lot of times, Bob, the majority of times that you came on this show, when we play music beds coming back from break,
Yeah,
for you, I'd play What's the Frequency, Kenneth?
I remember.
Yep. But Bob also turned me on to YouTube big time. I was never a YouTube fan until Bob turned me on to REM and YouTube, and then I start listening to YouTube, and I'm like, holy shit, where have I been? I mean, dude, Uptown Baby, and I mean, that album just unbelievable. I'm not saying but their first 3 albums, holy shit. Maybe even their first 4 albums, just incredible band.
The Unforgettable Fire was, it was fire, man. It was, and there again, man, they didn't, they weren't, they weren't subtle like REM about politics. I
Yeah.
mean, well, the album War, Sunday, Bloody Sunday, they were
Great fucking song.
they were labeled as rebels, IRA, back then there was, people don't know anything about that anymore, I guess. The Troubles in Ireland, the IRA, Northern Ireland, the Ulster, and I guess they reached an agreement where they get parliamentarians in the in the UK Parliament or whatever. But I guess they have some kind of representation, but
What's the
not really.
song? What's the song? Is it called Mysterious Ways?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That fucking line and the way he says it, the way Bono says it. She sees the man inside the child.
Yeah,
What a fucking line, man! And the way he sings it, because it goes into it's going into a chorus. It's just absolutely incredible. But I mean, tons
well,
of
his
songs.
voice progression, he used to scream like Sunday Bloody Sunday, you know. But around this time that you're talking about, he actually learned how to not say sing, because he's got one of the most memorable. I'm just trying to say improve his artistry and to sing those types of songs. It was
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. The REM. U2, absolutely awesome. Quick quiz, because I know you're going to get this right away, because it's not like we haven't talked about it before. As far as Michael Stipe from REM, he is the godfather of who?
Grunge, Eddie Vedder.
No, he's the godfather of a
Oh,
certain
he's
child.
the godfather of Kurt Cobain, Bean or whatever.
His daughter, Kurt Cobain's daughter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So what does that tell you, man?
Says a lot.
Those. By the way, to the listeners and to you, Chad, it's not that I didn't appreciate all the other music at the time. I'm a big country music fan, and I appreciate all music. I'm just saying that those two bands, to me, when you can listen to anything, number one, fuck rap. If you listen to rap, you need to change your shit, because that's going nowhere. Oh yeah, feel good vibe.
Man, parents just don't understand.
Yeah, well, that's how it started out, and they got rid of the parents. And now we don't understand what's going on. But that music, those two bands, it was cerebral to me,
Oh yeah.
because got a good beat, easy to dance to, whatever. If you want to go American Bandstand, yeah, it's got a good beat, it's easy to dance to. What did you think? What did Dick Clark asking? Man, it was cerebral, made you think, and when you think about the imagery with the poetic lyricists, the great musicians, and what are they talking about? One of the saddest songs I've ever heard, and probably nobody has, it's called "The Flowers of Guatemala," and it's about. It sounds beautiful, right? The flowers of Guatemala. It's a beautiful. Let me tell you about these flowers. Well, the flowers cover everything. What do they cover?
Yeah, covering the
They're
great.
covering all the dead Guatemalans that the CIA buried, and the Amanita is the name. The flowers cover everything. Amanita is a mushroom that's growing over the body pits that we left in Guatemala. But still, and they did a beautiful song about it. So if you listen to it, it's like, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then you understand what they're really talking about. The flowers cover everything. So I think they're a little ahead of their time with the message. But the flowers cover everything, man. Once you kill them and bury them, it's over.
And that's an REM song or U2?
That's REM.
REM.
Flowers,
Okay.
The Flowers of Guatemala.
It can't be on the Monster album, because you
No. The Flowers of Guatemala.
probably green.
I don't know if that's Life's Rich Pageant. I don't know. You know what? Just the name, the song, the symbolism of Life's Rich Pageant. And that's what life really is. And that's, to me, it was always poetic. I got them. I've listened to it. Yeah.
This is actually astonishing. Longtime listeners to the shows are like, he hasn't mentioned Pearl Jam tonight. Well, yeah, I haven't because we're just talking. Okay, but Bob has mentioned Eddie Vedder many times tonight.
Eddie inducted
REM.
REM into the Hall of Fame or whatever, and
That was a great fucking
the
performance.
yes, they did a couple of songs, man, and you know what? As soon as we get off tonight, I'm gonna watch that shit again because it was almost like the melding of the two generations type thing. Even
Oh
though I
yeah.
guess they're probably in the same generation, but maybe not. I don't. You get where I'm coming from? But it
Well, I
was
mean,
mutual
REM,
respect.
REM, early '80s. You know, they were around long before Pearl Jam. You know, that was awesome. That was awesome. They did Man in the Moon.
Yeah, I saw them at a fraternity house in college, maybe, or high school.
No, I'm saying that at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when Eddie inducted REM,
Yeah, yeah,
they did Man
they
in the
did Man on the
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah,
They did something else too, but
I think I think Michael got. The thing is, Eddie's so fucking good when he was doing the air air air. You know,
yeah.
I it was like when you go back and listen to the recorded version of that, the producer, I'm not putting the producer down, should have had Michael's, when Michael was doing that in the actual recording, it should have been more ahead. More ahead. It's so, it's so like muffled in the background because it made that song even better the way Eddie was
Well,
just,
the secret weapon of that song, or the secret weapon of REM, wasn't just Michael Stipe's, lead vocals.
oh, yeah. It was,
It was Mike Mills doing
yeah,
backup, and they're
sure.
harmonizing.
Hmm.
And I, I guess maybe AI can replicate it today, but those, man, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Like I said, they're one of the most successful American bands as far as money generating, and they've been retired forever. So
Oh, holy
they do
shit.
them
That,
good.
that was like 2008 when Eddie inducted them
Yeah.
into the Hall of Fame. But if you got if you love music and have never seen what Bob and I are talking about, just look up Eddie Vedder inducts REM in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you'll see an incredible performance of a great song. That is a great song. I love that line, Bob, in the Man in the Moon. What was it? It's I'll see you in heaven if you make the list.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great fucking line. The entire line. I'm just saying a portion of the line, but I'll see you in heaven if you make the list. It's too cool.
Yeah. Let's play Twister. Let's play Risk. I'll see you in heaven if you make the list.
There you go.
And basically, he was breaking down some of the sayings from the '60s and early '70s type shit, man.
Yeah. Oh, most certainly.
Like euphemisms of American. I'll see you in heaven if you make the list. Let's play Twister. Let's play Wrist. Remember Wrist? Where you wet your two fingers and slap somebody on the wrist as hard as you can, and you take turns.
Was that what Risk was? I thought it was a
Yeah,
board
yeah.
game or something. I don't know.
No, Twister. Well, Twister was that lay it down on the floor and contort your body into all shapes or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, man, there's a lot of. I kind of look at REM music like Stanley Kubrick type as an artist. What kind of Easter eggs did you leave for everybody in your songs?
Yeah. No shit. Talk about Kubrick, dude. Holy yes. I mean, we don't have time to get into that's. I would love to get into Kubrick big time. Two movies, Eyes Wide Shut. Talk about the New World Order and something that I would piss people off about if I mention too much in The Shining or The Shining. But he was putting a lot of stuff out there in those two films for sure.
You know, the thing about Stanley Kubrick is he had the
Excuse me, real quick.
director's rights.
Real quick, Bob, before anyone tries to slay me. Eyes Wide Shut is basically about Bohemian Grove, which is linked to the whole globalist New World Order agenda. There you go.
Exactly. But the 24 minutes that were edited, because he had directorial rights on that
Yeah.
on that film.
And he
Which means, well, when
mysteriously
you're Stanley
died right after that
Kubrick-
film.
Say again.
He mysteriously died somehow after that film.
He mysteriously died like a couple of days or a day later after meeting with the executives of the studio, which I'm not going to say. And but he had directorial rights. He does the final editing, and he wouldn't agree to what they wanted after they'd seen the film. They wanted, well, obviously they wanted to edit 24 minutes out of that,
Yeah.
and they had to kill him to do it. That's all I'm going to say. And you know what, Chad? I don't know how dark you want to go.
We could. Hey,
I've read reports
yeah.
that they ate him.
How about this? How about we pick up next Sabado Noche on that? I can write it down in the notes. I can write down the notes and we'll get on that.
It's crazy, though. What do you think they edited?
That's what the
The
moment.
Epstein type shit. What they're
Exactly.
doing, they're sacrificing, brother. They're
Exactly.
doing it, man.
Exactly. The real effigy, it's not an effigy. They're sacrificing an effigy to the fires of Moloch, or maybe they're actually sacrificing it's not an effigy. It actually is a child, a baby that they're sacrificing to the fires of Moloch on the Russian River up there in Northern California. Bohemian Grove. Hey Bob, before we get out of here, since we were talking about music a little bit, and I have to do this to piss off anyone who was like, "Holy shit, Chad's not talking about Pearl Jam." Well, folks, if you go and Bob's talking about, and I'm probably going to go listen to the song too. Eddie Vedder, when he inducted REM into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, "Man in the Moon." I still say it's between Alice in Chains' Nutshell and this song, but I still say the greatest, most powerful fucking live performance of a lead singer. I'm not talking about the band, whatever. It was a great performance. I'm talking about a lead singer, Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam, and Double A knows this. Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam, MTV Unplugged, the song Black.
Oh, that was awesome.
Holy shit. I mean, I still get chills. How many times have I seen that Pearl Jam's Black, MTV Unplugged, that performance? I've seen Pearl Jam a lot of times. That's the only performance like that one. And I still get total chills from that. It's just, he went somewhere. He was on a different planet that night, and it was crazy. And if you haven't experienced it, folks, you maybe should check it out. But don't check it out. YouTube might tell me, only I can check it out. If you're listening on YouTube, only I can listen to Pearl Jam's Black MTV Unplugged. If you're listening on Rumble or X, you can. We got to be careful with YouTube, Bob. We already have
Do you
two
remember
strikes.
his the compilation with Pearl Jam and with the Temple of the Dog.
Oh
Pearl
yeah,
Jam and Soundgarden,
yeah.
and I'm gonna tell you this:
Great album.
Eddie
Period.
Vedder and Chris Cornell, "Hunger Strike."
Great song.
Man, they ought to have an award for
Great song.
those awesome lyrics, man. Both of them have just,
It's yeah.
it's powerful.
And it's a great album. Period. Temple of the Dog. It was a super group. You got Pearl Jam and Soundgarden coming together and making that incredible Temple of the Dog album. Great album, and it was made for Andy Wood, who was the original before Eddie Vedder became Pearl Jam's lead singer, and before they became Pearl Jam, they were shit. Now I'm gonna forget the name of the band, but Andy Wood was the lead singer of the band. It's before Green River. Anyway, but he, the Seattle Circle. Chris Cornell was great friends with Andy, and when Andy died, he made that album for Andy, and so Pearl Jam and Soundgarden came together, and it was awesome. Yeah, incredible album there, Booby. Hunger Strike, fucking incredible song. I don't mind stealing bread from
I got one
my...
other one for you.
All right.
She lived on a curb on the road,
Crazy Mary.
old tar paper shack.
Down the side
Oh,
of the road,
good
just
times,
enough.
man. Good music, man.
Crazy Mary, man. Take a bottle, drink it down, pass it around.
Because that what you fear the most will meet you halfway.
That what you fear the most would meet you halfway. Take a bottle, drink it down. Look that song up, folks. Pearl Jam made that song pretty damn famous. It's a cover, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's a cover for, I forget the woman's name, man. But, Pearl Jam,
That was a benefit.
a benefit? Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was dying of cancer, and they did a benefit.
No LoiteringA loud. Underneath that sign congregated quite a crowd. Wild-eyed, crazy Mary. Yeah, man, great song. And by the way, your little brother's favorite Pearl Jam song.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was well, and that's where where music gets a little cerebral, man. Like this is real art.
Exactly.
And you know what? I didn't like music without a message, man.
Oh, same here. Same here. That's dude. That's why we gravitate towards great lyricists, for example, such as Vedder or Michael Stipe, for example, Chris Cornell, Bono. I mean, by the way, man, before we get out of here, Bob, because we on time, we got to get out of here. But also, my favorite and Dick Johnson's favorite U2 song we both agree on is "One." That's a fucking great song.
Well, and that's dude. Those lyrics could make a stone cold killer for his country just reevaluate shit.
Yeah.
'Cause we are one. We're not the same.
Yeah.
But you deserve a shot at life just like my kids do. And what's this shit for? Well, I don't know, man.
Well, I mean that song. It depends on how you interpret it because the ending of the song is more of let's all be together in the world. The beginning of the song is a fucking breakup song.
Sure.
So, but I love the line. I love the line. You asked me to enter, but then you made me crawl, and I can't be holding on to what you got when all you got is hurt. It's a fucking line.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a fucking line, man. You know, Boob, great show. Our first show since 2010 when it's just you and me and no one else.
Well, it
Great
was
show
good
with you, buddy.
chatting with you, my friend.
Yeah. And great for a 3-week hiatus for us to get back, and it's you and me. And to all of our listeners, all of our viewers on Rumble and X and YouTube, we'll be back next Sabado Noche. Sorry for the 3-week hiatus, but we're back. And Brooks Agnew joins us again next Saturday night. BrooksAgnew.com, BrooksAgnew.com. Bob, you want to say goodnight to everybody?
Good night, everybody.
That is Bob Austin, one of the best friends anyone could ever have. I love you, Boob.
Love you too, brother.
For our elusive engineer, producer Tony, the Sentinel, Scott Hare, Dr. Brooks Agnew. You just heard Bob Austin, obviously, right? And Lieutenant Keith Temple. And Adam Mirth, folks. Until next time, let justice be done. Let justice be done till the heavens fall. It's good being back. We'll get everything else figured out next Saturday night. Keith will be back in 2 weeks, and